Welcome to the very first episode of Barry Charles Real Estate. I will take you on a journey through my real estate journey as I start to work in the field. I've just started doing some of the training towards what I need to do. So in this episode, we'll talk about what you need to do to start your real estate agency in the New South Wales Sydney area. I'll also take you through as we go along this series. I will look at all types of what I'm doing and learning on the job as I go through the job process once I finish the trainings. And then each and every week we're going to look at what's actually happening in the real estate market. And I will start off in the Campbelltown and surrounding areas from Bradbury to Eds to Rosemeadow to St. Helens Park and further afield to like Preston, Casula, Ingleburn, Minto, Glenfield and beyond. So each and every week we will look at what is selling around the marketplace and also look into what is happening around the traps and the workforce. Yes, indeed. So let's get to it here as we get rocking here with Barry Charles Real Estate 101. So welcome guys and gals to the channel for the first time. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this video. But yes, it's been an interesting life-changing decision to go down the real estate and landscape. Yes, to find the deals of a lifetime and find ways how to make you money in real estate as we explore this journey together. Yes, so when I go to look at the real estate over the last week, I'm going to look at what the house price sold for and also give you tips on what this house, if there could be improvements to it or if it's just a standard house to buy, because that is where you make the real moolah in this industry, if you can make that sort of money from making great investment deals, not just buying a house because it looks good. So yes, so I'll take you down the path of how to actually become a real estate agent. And the reason that I got involved is I want to make the world a better place, and I believe real estate is one of the financial tools to help you guide yourself towards financial freedom. It's not the only way, but it is one of the key factors. And as well as investing into the stock market is another way to make passive income, starting your own businesses, all other opportunities to make extra revenue for yourself. So yes, so this show is for the people that want to look to improve real estate and looking to buy into real estate, what they should do in terms of investment, what areas they could look to buy into. Obviously, I'm going to focus closer on the Western Sydney at the moment, but it doesn't mean I won't move into other as we go along, depending on where my career goes. But this is where I'm starting from, so this is my starting point. So let's have a look first here at the real estate. How do you actually get involved in real estate, folks? Okay. Now, this is just from New South Wales. It's totally different, and every state has different rules, regulations. But first of all, you got to get yourself study. Yes. So you got to do the five levels. You got to do the five real estate courses that give you the opportunity to get yourself registered, a certificate. Yes, a certificate of registration, folks. Yes. So basically means you got to do these 5 papers. You do the study for them. Once you've completed that, you can apply with Service New South Wales to get your registration to be an assistant agent. So you don't go straight into being a real estate agent when you start. So I want to clarify that so people understand. You got to do these 5 papers. Once you've done those 5 papers, you can start your job once you got the certificate of registration. I mean, you can start beforehand if you're a receptionist, or they give you an opportunity to do that while you're studying. Some people get that opportunity. Some people, like myself, have to do it the other way and do the study and then look for the job. So once you've done that, then you got to get the job. And then once you get the job, you got to be there for a year to to start off with. So you've got to be there for a year and you've got to learn everything. You've got a certain amount of trainings, which I will go through once I know exactly what needs to be done on each step. But basically, you got to learn all the different parts of real estate as you go along during the year, and also study. Yep. So once you've done those 5 papers, you've got to complete the whole level 4 course in real estate, and before 1 year, and you do all the trainings you need to do in terms of your logbook. In 1 year's time, hopefully that's where I'm going to be at, or just over a year's time, depending when I start. Work towards becoming a fully qualified real estate agent. Yes, that's number 1. But say you want to start a real estate agent business yourself, well, you can't start till 3 years. You got to do 2 more years. You got to also do further training, but you got to do 3 years real estate, actively doing real estate under a company before you can come their licensee and be the owner of the company. So it takes you 3 years to get to owner level, if that's what you're heading towards. So yeah, basically, it's not too hard. You could get it for free if you can get it through some companies, but you can get good specials about $300 mark to do the training, which you can do online or at a course. So that's basically where we're at. I'll also talk about many other things in this thing. I'm also in the process of doing solar on my current house. There's already got solar on there, and I've already learned something straight off the bat that I stuffed up with. That's on my, you can say that the installer as well didn't tell me, but at the end of the day, it was up to me to try and find out the information, which unfortunately I didn't. Is that the inverter I got was not for a battery. So if I had got a hybrid inverter, then I would have been able to get the battery much more easier. And that's just further costs that added to the system. So at the moment, I am looking to get a solar battery with some more panels on top of the roof. So I'm doing a bit of that right at the moment, while also looking at other systems as well, whether I'm doing the subflooring or a DVS system for ventilation. This is a few things I'm looking at. And because it was an older home that I bought, the insulation is not there, so we need to replace the old insulation and potentially put new stuff in. So this is stuff I will also talk about. So it's all about everything to do with house, real estate, and how you can make money. And this is a way to save you money. And solar is a way that this is an interesting thing. It can save you money, but again, you got to pay a hefty price to start off with, and that's the question mark a lot of people have. And that's where I'm getting to with the solar battery. Pretty expensive, and you only got a 10-15 year lifespan. That is the big concern. The solar batteries will last you your lifetime pretty much, or at least 30 years, depending on your age. So you might have to replace it when you're 50 if you're young. But solar batteries, I mean the solar panels themselves are not too expensive, but the battery is very expensive, but saves you the solar power in the night time. Yes, so this is what this channel is going to be about. It's about learning together, and I'll give you opportunities to understand where the market is at in the Campbelltown and the surrounding areas in the radius of this. And obviously, once the Western Sydney Airport comes along and you have Bradfield come along, I'll understand their market too as that builds towards growth in the business. So Campbelltown is a growing area. A lot of people are thinking, why would you go out there? But once Western Sydney Airport opens, this place is going to explode and prices are going to go up. Boom. Thank you very much. That's why I brought it and look to reap the rewards of it. But just let's now have a look at actually what's happened the last week in sales in the areas around here we live. So we're going to start off here with Preston's, a 4-bedroom house with 2 single garages on a small lot of 457 meters squared, was sold for $1.1 million, which had a little mini patio out the back, but there wasn't much room to add any extra value to this house apart from going upwards. Also in Preston, so $1.4 million house was sold. A 4 bedroom, updated bathroom, a double garage, 569 meters squared. This one looks like there's probably potential for maybe a granny flat to go on it, but not necessarily. Let's look at Ingleburn. So Ingleburn, the house sold for 1.09 million, 4 bedroom home, 2 bathrooms, had solar panels on the top, but very little improvement because of the house where it is on the lot. Basically, you got the lot in the middle of the thing, and there's no room behind, no room at the back. You can't really improve the house much apart from doing stuff internally to the house or going upwards. But in terms of adding a duplex or anything like that, well, obviously you can knock over and do that. That's another story. But in terms of where it's situated right now, it's not good in that terms. We also had another house at 928k for 4 bedroom, in a duplex area unit. Yeah, so that's again, you got houses all connected together, so you're living right next door to the neighbours and don't actually fully own all the land. It's a little bit of a murky area. Is it worth getting yourself into? That's the question you've got to make. Yes. So also in a Campbelltown house, went for 925k, 3 bedrooms, 601 meters squared house. So there's potential for a granny flat on that one. So the granny flat, you're going to look about 200k roughly. Depending, you can get it cheaper if you're lucky, or you can make it cost more depending on if you have to do driveway, etc., etc. But this is a way for you to make money. And Bradbury, a house sold for 9.12k, 3 bedroom, 629 meter squared house, but the house was poorly designed in terms of where the house is situated, making the granny flat a bit tough to fit in, but it's potential to make it. What else did I notice? There was a 520k for a lot of land in Eds for 300 square meters, hardly anything. But people are buying that these days, crazy. Campbelltown, what else was there in Campbelltown? There was another house sold for 1.065 million. Oh yes, this was the granny flat situation. So there was a granny flat, and they could also look at garden design for this one. They could improve the garden at the back. It's pretty much dirt, so if they improve the garden, they can make some money out of that. Yep, so to end this first episode, you can buy $1 million house. You just have to go further away from the CBD, because the prices won't stay here forever. The 900,000 houses are still here right now, but they won't be here for long. Those houses will go to a mill. They'll go to 1.1. You add the new Western airport fully up and running. These houses will skyrocket. So it's a good time to buy in this area if you want to get into the moolah. But anyway, that's the Barry Charles real estate for this episode, my very first one. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will talk about everything real estate on this channel just for you. Have an awesome day out there.